as seemeth by his plight of the revolt, the newest state.
This is the sergeant, who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isles of kerns and gallow glasses is supplied, and fortune on his damned quarrel smiling showed like a rebel's whore. But all's too weak for brave MacBeth. Well he deserves that name. Disdaining fortune with brandished steel which smoked with bloody execution, like valor's minion carved out his passage till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell to him till he unseamed from the nave to the chops, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
O valiant cousin, worthy gentlemen!
Aye! As whence the sun gins his reflection, shipwracking storms and direful thunders break, so from that spring whence comfort seemed to come, discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark! No sooner justice had, with valor armed, compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels. But the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage with furbished arms and new supplies of man, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed this not our captains, MacBeth and Banquo?
Yes, as the sparrows, the eagle, or the lion the hare, if I say sooth, I must report that they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. Except they were meant to bathe in reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha, I do not know. But I am weak, and my gashes cry for help.
So well thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Go, get him surgeons. No more shall that Thane of Cawdor deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet MacBeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble MacBeth hath won.
What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it. Live you, or are you what that man may question? You seem to understand me, by each at once a choppy finger laying upon her skinny lip. You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so. Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail, MacBeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis!
All hail, MacBeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor!
All hail, MacBeth, that thou shalt be king hereafter!
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are you fantastical, or that which indeed you outwardly show. My noble partner, you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope. That he seems rapt withal. To me, you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail! 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 Lesser than Macbeth. And greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt beget kings, though thou be none.
So all hail Macbeth and Banquo. Banquo and Macbeth. All hail.
Hail!
Hail! Hail! All hail!
Stay, you imperfect speakers. Tell me more. By Sinel's death I know I am Thane of Lanus. But how of Cawdor? Thane of Cawdor lives to be a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop us with such prophetic greetings. Speak! I charge you!
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and what seemed corporeal melted, like a breath into the wind. Oh, would they had stayed!
Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Well, your children shall be kings.
You shall be king!
And Thane of Cawdor too. Went it not so?
To the self-same tune and words.
Hail, sir. Hail, Macbeth. The king hath happily received Macbeth, the news of thy success, and when he reads thy personal ventures in the rebels' fight, his wonders and praises do contend thee, which should be thine or his.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, not to pay thee, only to herald thee into his sight.
Yes. And with greater honor, the king from him called thee the Thane of Cawdor. All hail, most worthy Thane, which it is thine.
What? Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
I know not, but treasons, capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Thane of Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Oh, thank you, gentlemen. Banquo, do you not wish your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promise no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, oftentimes, to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truth, win us with honest trifles to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. Why, if chance may have me king, then chance may crown me, without my stir. Come what come may, time and hour run through the roughest day. Thank you, gentlemen.
Worthy Macbeth, I stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor, my dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Think upon what hath chanced, and the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough.
Cousin, the sin of my ingratitude, even now, was heavy on me. Thou art so far before the swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Wouldst thou hast less deserved that the proportion, both of thanks and payment, might have been mine. Only I have left to say, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
Well, the service and loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your Highness's part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne, and your children, and your servants, who do all but what they should by doing everything safe towards your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, that hadst no less deserved, nor must be known, no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Is execution done on Cawdor? Are those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back. But I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like leaving it. He died as one that had been studied in his death, so as to throw away the dearest thing he owed as to a careless trifle.
There is no art to the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I trust. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and those whose places are the nearest, know that we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. But honor, unaccompanied, not invest him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall shine upon all deservers, and from hence to Inverness bind us further to you.
The rest is labor which is not used to you. I'll be myself the harbinger and make joyful the hearing of my wife upon your approach. So humbly, take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. O stars, hide your fires, let light not see my black and deep desires. The eye winketh at the hand, but let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see.
True, worthy Banquo. He is full, so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet unto me. Let's after him, whose care has gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman. Aye.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I learned to desire question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished.
This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill and cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success commencing in the truth?
While I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title, before, these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time, with Hail King that shalt be.
If good, why do I yield to that suggestion, which horrid image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature?
This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightest not lose the dues of rejoicing, by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell.
Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder is yet but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man, that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Glaumus thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be which thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily, wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. And that thou'st have great Glaumus, that which cries, thus thou must do, if thou have it, and that which thou rather dost fear to do than wishes should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear and chastise thee with the valor of my tongue, all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid have thee crowned with all. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Is not thy master with him?
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming.
Give him tending, he brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse that cooks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and paw thee to the dawnest smoke of hell, for my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold! Great Glaumus, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all hell hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And one goes hence.
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that tomorrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He who's coming must be provided for, and you shall put the night's great business into my dispatch. Whereto shall all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear, to alter favor ever is to fear.
This castle hath a pleasant seat.
Leave all the rest to me.
The air sweetly and nimbly recommends itself to our gentle senses. See our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometime is our trouble, which still we thank as love.
All our service at every point twice done and then done double. Where poor and single business do contend against those honors deep and broad, wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the hills with purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, has helped him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight. Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host, whom we love highly, and shall continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
Come, good sirs.
It were done when 'tis done. It were well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with Circe's success, that this blow might be the be-all and end-all here. But upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump to life to come. But in these cases we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which being taught returned to plague the inventor. It's in this even-handed justice that commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife himself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other side. How now? What news more?
He has almost left. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me as of late, and I have bought golden opinion from all sorts of people, which should be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou with beard to live the same, in thine own act and valor, as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have it that thou esteemest the ornament of life, and to live a coward in thine own esteem? Letting I dare not wait upon I would.
Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was then that made you break this enterprise with me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling at my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed his brains out, had I sworn as you have done to this.
If we fail,
We fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place, and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, for 2 shallow's days' hard journey soundly invite him, his 2 chamberlains, when in a swinish sleep, their drenched natures lies as in a death. What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers who bear the guilt of our great toil?
I am settled, and bent up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock with time and fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Oh, how goes the night, boy?
The moon is down, and I've not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12?
I take it 'tis later.
Take my sword. There is husbandry in heaven. Their candles are out. Take thee that too. Who's here?
A friend.
What, sir? Not yet at rest? The king's abed and hath been in unusual pleasure lately. True. He sent forth great largesse to your offices. This diamond he greets your wife withal, in the name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, which else should free have wrought.
All's well. Last night, I dreamt of the weird women. To you they have showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, if we were to entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business. Would you grant the time?
At your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent, it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it? but keep my bosom franchised and my allegiance clear, I shall be counseled.
Good repose the while.
The like to you, friend.
Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle to my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as tangible in that in which I draw. Mine eyes are made the fools of all the other senses. Or else worth all the rest. I see thee yet, and on thy blade and gudgeon, gouts of blood which were not there before. It is not so. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Hear not my steps, thou sure and firm set earth, which way they go. For fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts. Whilst I threat, he lives. Deeds to the wish of cold, too cold breath gives. I go. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is Nell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace. It was the owl that shrieked. The fatal bellman that gives the sternest good night.
Who is there? What ho?
He is about it. And the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die. Alack, I'm afraid they have awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. I laid the daggers ready, he could not miss them.
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear anything?
I heard the owls scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now?
As I descended?
I.
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There was one that did laugh in his sleep. And one did cry, murder! That did see me there. But they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There were two lodged together.
One said, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands, listening their fears. I could not say amen when they did say, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more! MacBeth has murdered sleep! Oh, the innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care. Oh, sweet balm of hurt minds, sweet nothing's second course, chief nourisher of life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still he cried, sleep no more! Glamis hath killed sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
No! I am afraid to know what I have done. Look on it again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose, the sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of the childhood that fears the painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms with all, for it must seem their guilt.
What is that knocking? Why is it here when every noise appalls me? What are these hands? They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's oceans clean this blood from my hands? No. Rather, these hands will run a multitudinous sea, cold crimson, making a green one run red.
My hands are of your color, but ashamed to wear a heart so white. I hear knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber, a little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark! More knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
Anon, anon! Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? 'Tis the whole house you aim to wake at this ungodly hour. I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming!
Is thy master stirred, worthy Thane?
Your knocking has awakened him for sure. Here he comes.
Good morrow, good sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirred, worthy Thane?
No, not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him, and I have almost slipped the hour.
Well, I'll bring you to him.
I know it is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
Well, labor delight and physics pain. Here's the door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today.
Well, he does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and, as they say, lamentings heard in the night, strange screams of death, and prophesyings with accents terrible, of dire combustions and confused events. New huts to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
Yes, well, 'twas a rough night.
Oh, horror! Horror, horror! Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee. The most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is it you say? The life?
Mean you his majesty?
Oh, bid me not speak! Approach the chamber! Destroy your sight! Ring the alarm bell! Awake! Awake! Knock on! Banquo! Donald Bain! Awake! Shake off this deadly sleep! Death's counterfeit, and look on death itself! Up and see the great image! As from your graves rise up and walk like sprites to countenance this horror! Ring the bell!
What's the business of such a hideous trumpet calls to parlay the sleepers of the house? Speak! Speak!
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can say, for repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Banquo! Banquo! Our royal master's murdered!
Whoa! Alas! What, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I prithee, contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Oh! Had I died but an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time.
What is amiss?
You are, and do not know it. Your head, the spring, the very source of your head is stopped. The very blood is stopped.
Your royal father is murdered.
What? Who?
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and their faces were badged with blood, as were their knives, which we found unwiped upon their pillows.
Oh, do repent me of my folly, for it was I that killed them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be amazed, wise, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The violent expedition of my love outrun the pauser. Reason. There lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with golden blood. There lay the murderers, steeped in the color of their trade, their daggers unmannerly greased with gore. Who could refrain who had a heart to love, and in that heart, courage to make that love known?
Help me hence.
Look to the lady!
Look to the lady. And when we have our naked frailties hid, that suffer in exposure, let us meet here to question this most bloody piece of work to know it further.
And so do I.
And so all!
Let us put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Aye!
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office to which the false man does easy. I'll to England.
To Ireland, I. Our separated fortune shall keep us the safer. Where we are, there are daggers and men's smiles.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and the safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore, to horse. Let's not be dainty leave-taking. We'll shift away.
Good, worthy lord. 70 I can remember well within the volume of which time I have seen hours dreadful and things strange. But this sore night hath trifled former knowings.
Good mother, thou hast seest the heavens, as troubled with man's act threatens this bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the traveling lamp. Is it night's predominance, or the day's shame where darkness does face the earthen tomb, where the living light should kiss it?
'Tis unnatural. Even like the deed that's done on Tuesday last, a falcon towering in her pride of place was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed.
And Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain, as they were trying to be rebellious of some sort.
'Tis said they eat each other.
They did so, out of the amazement of thine eyes. Farewell, mother.
God's benison go with you, and with those who make good of bad and friends of foes.
Macduff, how goes the world, sir, now?
Why, you see not?
It's known who done this more than bloody deed.
Those that MacBeth hath slain.
Alas the day, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. The king's two sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still, thriveless ambition that will riven up their own minds.
MacBeth is already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardians of their bone.
Will you to Scone?
No, all to Fife.
Then I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu, lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
our chief guest.
Oh, if he had been forgotten, it would be but as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are with a most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon.
Aye, my lord.
We should have else desired your good advice in today's council. But we'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt now and supper.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not. Thou hast it now. King, Cador, Glaumus, all as the weird women promised. And I fear thou played most foully for it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself would be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, why by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope?
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing to their cruel patricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But of that tomorrow, when we shall have cause of state craving us jointly. Hie you to your horse, adieu, till we see you again. Oh, goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my lord. Our time does call upon us.
Well, I wish your horses swift and sure of foot. And so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night, to make society the sweeter welcome. We will keep ourselves till supper time alone. While then, God be with you. Oh, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them to me. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and to that dauntless temper of his mind lies something that should be feared. It is only he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when first they gave the title of king to me, then bade them speak to him. Then prophet-like, they hailed him to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, put rancors in the very vessel of my peace. For only them have I put my eternal jewel in the common enemy of man. To make them kings, the seeds of Banquo, kings. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. Rather it be so. Come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Good. Now go to the door and wait till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together last?
It was. So please your highness.
Well then, have you considered of my speeches? Knowest thou that it was Banquo in times past that held you so under fortune?
True, my lord.
I told you this in our last conference. How you were wrought in hand, how cross the instruments, who wrought with them, and to all things else, to half a notion and to a soul crazed would say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so, and went further. Now, do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospel depraved for this good man and his issue, whose heavy hand has beggared you to the grave, and beggared your lives forever?
We are men, my liege.
I am one whom the vile blows and buffets of the world had so incensed,
that I am reckless in what I do to spite it, and I another.
Knowest you that Banquo was your enemy?
True, my lord.
So is he mine. Now, I will put you in the perfect spur of the time. Acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time. For the moment on it, for it must be done tonight, and something further from the palace, though I thought myself should require a clearness. And, to leave no rubs nor botches in the work, his son, Fleance, that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour.
It shall be done. As you command us.
It is done.
We are resolved, my lord.
Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out. Tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I would attend his leisure.
Madam, I will.
Not had all spent, where desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroyed than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy.
How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorry fancies your companions making, using those deeds which indeed should have died with them, they think on. Things without all remedies should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our former malice is in danger of her former tooth. Better we to go with the corpses that we have sent to peace than on the torchless torture of the mind. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel nor poison, nothing can touch him further.
Come on, gentle my lord. Seek o'er your rugged looks, be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I love. Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Knowest thou that Fleance in his Banquo lives?
But in them nature's copies, not etern.
They are assailable. There is hope yet. Then be thou joyful. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight to black Hecate's summon, and the shard-born beetle makes his drowsy hum, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest one, until thou applaud the deed. Come, night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy invisible and bloody hand, cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which so entraps me. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, when night's black agents to their prey do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make themselves worse by ill.
Tis he, stand to it.
It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Oh, treachery! Go, good Fleance, go! Escape! I am done. I am slain.
But one is down. The sun has fled. We have lost best half of our affair. Let's away and see what is done.
sit down. The first and last, the hearty welcome. I'll make myself the humble host, but our hostess keeps her state, so we will require her good welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir. For my heart speaks, they are welcome.
Everything is good. Both sides are even. Anon I'll sit in the midst, and be large in mirth. Anon we'll drink a measure, the court round. There's blood upon my face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
'Tis better thee without than thee within. Is he dispatched?
His throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Thou, though art good that did the like for Fleance. If thou didst it, thou art without equal.
My good lord, Fleance is scaped.
Comes my fit again. I had else been perfect as the rock, founded as the marble, as open and general as the casing air. But Banquo is safe.
Aye, safe in a ditch he bides with 20 trenched gashes upon his head, the least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. Get thee gone.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer. While 'tis a making, 'tis given with welcome. Feed were best at home.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now, good digestion wait on appetite.
And health on both.
If it please your highness, sit.
Oh, therein our country's honor would have roofed. Were the graced person of our Banquo present, who may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please it to grace us with your royal company.
The room's full.
Here is a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is it that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this? Thou cannot say I did it! Never shake thy gory locks at me!
Gentlemen, arise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus and has been from youth. Pray you be still. The fit is momentary. Upon the thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
I, in a bold one that dares look on that which might appall the devil!
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the Aragon dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there! Lo, what say you? Why, if thou canst not speak too, what care I? If charnel houses and their graves do rend those that we bury back, our monument shall be the maws of kites!
What's quite unmanned and folly?
If I stand here, I saw him!
But for shame! My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange condition which is nothing to those that know me. Then I'll sit down. Give me some wine. Fill full. To our graced person of Banquo, whom we miss, were he were here. Oh. To him and all we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties and our pledge.
Avaunt, oh, and quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. No, to give thee shape with that, my firm nerves shall never tremble, or come alive again, and dare me to the desert with thy sword. Hence, horrible shadow! Unreal mockery, hence!
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom, 'tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of time.
I am a man again.
You have displaced the mirth.
Pray you be still! Can such things overcome us like a summer's day? You make me strange even to the disposition that I owe, when I see now that you can see such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks, when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
Hear you no more. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
A good night, and better health attend his majesty.
A kind good night to us all.
Blood will have blood, they say. Rocks have been known to move, and trees to speak. By augurs and understood relations, have by maggot pies and chows and rooks brought forth the secret blood of man. What time is the night?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which.
Why does the great Macduff not grace himself with our presence?
Did you send to him, sir?
I thought I did. I saw him. But I will send, there's not a one I see, but in his chambers I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow to the weird sisters. By now I am known and bent up to receive by the worst means the worst. Strange things to head have come to hand, which must be acted, ere they will be scanned.
Former speeches have but hatred thoughts. Only I say things have been strangely born. For the gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Mary, he was dead. And the right valiant Banquo walked too late. Whom you may say, if it please you, Fleance killed, for Fleance fled. Men must not walk too late. And who cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damning fact, did that not grieve Macbeth? Did he not straight into pious rage tear the two delinquents who were slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? So that they say he has borne all things well. Was that not nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, which would have angered the hearts of any man alive. So that I say, he has borne all things well. And I do think that had he Duncan's sons under his key, they would find what 'twere to kill a father. So should Fleance. Peace, for from broad words and 'cause he failed his presence at the tyrant's feast, I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell me where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in English court and is received of the most pious Edward, with such grace that the malevolence of fortune nothing takes from his high respect. Thither Macduff has gone to pray the holy king upon his aid to wake Northumberland and warlike seaward, that, by the help of these, with him above to ratify the work, we may again bring to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, do free from our feasts bloody knives, do faithful homage, and receive free honors, all which we pine for now. And this report hath so exasperated the king that he should prepare some attempt of war.
Sent he to Macduff?
He did with absolute, sir, not I. The cloudy messenger turns his back to me and hums as who should say, you'll rue the time that clogs me with this answer.
And that might well advise him to a caution to hold, what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message that ere he come, some swift blessing may soon return to this, our suffering country, under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
Thrice the
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is it you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess to know. However you come to know it.
Speak. Demand.
Well, answer. Say if thou hearest from our mouths, or from our masters.
Well, call them. Let me see them.
Pour in sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 pharaoh. Grease that sweating from the murderer's giblet. Throw into the flame. Come high or low, thyself an office deftly show.
Thou unknown vision, what is it thou you art?
He knows thy thoughts. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Macbeth, beware Macduff, beware the bane of Fife. Dismiss me. Enough.
Thou unknown coward, whatever thou art, for thy good caution, thanks, thou hast harped my fear aright. But one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another one, more potent than the first.
Oh, had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee. Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? And yet, I'll take a bond of fate. Thou will not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder.
In spite of thunder.
What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and on his baby's brow is the round and top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Beagle of lion, metal proud, take no care who chafes or frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquish thee until great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the wood? Bid the tree unfix his earthbound roots. Sweet Bodeman's good. Rebellious dead rise never till the dead of Burnham rise. And yet, my heart yearns to know one thing more. Tell me, if your art can say so much, will Banquo's issue ever have a reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this and let an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know. Where does that cauldron go? And what noise is this?
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down! Oh, thy crown sears mine eyeballs, and thy hair is like the former. A third appears. Filthy hags! Why have you shown me this? A fourth starts eyes, with his line stretched to the crack of doom. Another yet, a seventh. Oh, I'll see no more. And yet an eighth appears with glass in hand that shows me many more, that wear twofold balls and treble scepters carry. Horrible sight! For what I see is true, for the blood-bolstered Banquo smiles upon me and looks at them for his. What? Is this true?
Aye, sir, all this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazingly?
Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites and show the best of our delight.
I'll charm the air to give a sound, while you perform your antics around. That this great king may kindly say, our duties to his welcome pay.
No! Stop!
this hour send I accursed in the calendar. Hail, Lennox!
What is your grace's will?
Saw you anything?
No, my lord.
Saw you anyone?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I heard the galloping of horses. Who was it that came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word Macduff is fled to England.
Fled? Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Go. Time thou anticipatest my dread exploits. Surprise the castle of Macduff I will. Seize Fife, and lay to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate to live in his line. No boasting like a fool. I'll do this deed before its purpose cool.
What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom! To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his nations and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly? He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl. All is the fear, and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom where the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest cousin, I pray you school yourself. For your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best man that fits the season. I dare not speak much further, but there are times when we are traitors and know not ourselves. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long until we meet again. My pretty cousin, blessings upon you.
Father he is, and yet he is fatherless. Your father is dead, and what will you do now? How will you live?
As the birds do, mother.
What, with worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean. And so do they.
Poor bird, never fear the net nor the line, the pitfall nor the snare.
Why should I, mother? Poor birds are not set out for. My father is not dead for all you're saying.
Yes, he is dead. And how wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how do thou for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
One that swears and lies.
All traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor, and must be hanged.
And they all must be hanged that swear and lie.
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers enough to beat the honest men and hang up them.
Now God help thee, poor monkey. But how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you would weep for him. If not, it were a good sign I shall quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Excuse me, Lady Macduff. I come from the castle. Please, pardon my intrusion, but you must heed my warning. Bless you, fair dame. I am not you known, though in your state of honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. If you will take an homely woman's advice, be not found here. Hence, with your only son. What? To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you were fell cruelty, which is too nigh your person.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm.
I dare abide no longer. Heaven preserve you. Farewell.
I remember now. I am in this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable. To do good sometimes counts dangerous fault.
regicide where such as thou mayest find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest, Jack! Run, brother, run! Run!
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there, for sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast to the mortal sword, and like good men, bestride our downfall and birth them. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland.
What I believe, I'll wail, and what's no, believe. What I can address, as I shall find time to friend, I will. What you've spoke, it may be so, perchance. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry God.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge. But I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. All that is foul would wear the brows of grace. Your grace must still look so.
I have lost my hopes then.
Perchance, even there, where did I find my doubts? Why, in that rawness of your wife and child, those precious motives, the strong knots of love, that leave-taking. I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Oh, bleed, bleed, poor country. Great tyranny, lay thou basest sure, for goodness dare not check thee. Wear thou thy wrongs, the title is afeard. I would not be the villain thou thinkest, for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp.
Be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal, there would be hands uplifted in my right. And here, from gracious England, have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head or wear it on my sword, my country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer, and more sundry ways than ever by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice, so grafted that when it shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb, being compared with my confineless harms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
I'll grant him bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there's no bottom, none, in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill the cistern of my lust and my desire. All constant impediments would o'erbear that did oppose my will. Better Macbeth than such a one to reign. In my most ill-composed affection, such a staunchless avarice, that were I king, I should cut off the nobles from their lands, desire his jewels in this other's house, and my more having would be as a sauce, to make me hunger more, that I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
Poor country, when will thou see thy wholesome days again? The truest issue of the throne, by its own interdiction, stands accursed.
God above, deal with thee and me. For even now, I put myself to thy direction, unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself as strangers to my nature. What I am truly is thine and my poor country to command.
Hail, Ross.
My good countrymen, welcome.
How does my wife?
Your castle is surprised. Your wife and babes savagely slaughtered.
Merciful heavens!
All? Did you say all? Oh, Hellkite. All my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
So I shall do, but I must feel it as a man. Oh, I cannot remember such things that were most precious to me. Sinful Macduff, they were struck for thee. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes and braggart with my tongue, but gentle heaven, cut short all intermission, front to front. Bring thou this fiend to Scotland, and myself within my sword's length set him. And if he scape, oh, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking. And powers above, put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long, that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it the Queen last walked?
Since his majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterward seal it, and again return to bed. Yet all this while in a most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature, to receive at once the full benefit of sleep, yet do the effects of watching. Tell me, in this slumbery agitation, besides walking, what at any time have you heard her say?
That which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
You see her eyes are open.
Ah, but their sense is shut.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She is light by her continuously. 'Tis her command.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I've known her to continue in this for a quarter of an hour. Yet, here's a spot!
Hark, she speaks. I will set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damned spot! Out, I say! 1, 2. Why then? 'Tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Bye, my lord! Bye!
The soldiers
What need we fear? Who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet, who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What? Will these hands ne'er be clean? No more that, my lord, no more that. You mar all with the starting.
Go to. You have known what you should not.
She has said what she should not. I'm sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Well.
Yet, here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia could not sweeten this little hand.
What a sigh is there? The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
This disease is beyond me. Yet I have known those who have walked in their sleep, yet died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on his grave.
Even so.
To bed. To bed. I hear knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their deaf pillows do discharge their secrets. More she needs the priest than the physician. God forgive us all. Watch over her and keep eyes still upon her. So, good night. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
By Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the good Macduff. Revenge is burning them, for their dear causes would to the bleeding and grim alarm excite the mortified man.
Near Burnham Wood, where we will meet them. That way. Are they coming?
Bring me no more reports! Let them fly all! Till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane, I cannot take with fear! What's the boy, Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequence have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth, for no man of woman born shall ever have power over thee. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never sag with doubt nor shake with fear. Seaton, I am sick at heart. Oh, I have lived a long enough life. But those things that come with long life as obedience, love, troops of friends I shall not hope to have. But in their stead, curses, not loud but deep, mouth honor. Satan!
What's your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my sword.
'Tis not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Send out more horses! Scur the country round! Hang those that talk of fear! I will not be afraid of death in vain till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane. Well, how is our patient?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Pluck out the written sorrow of the brain, raise out the written troubles of a mind, and with some sweet oblivious antidote, cleanse the perilous stuff that weighs upon the heart.
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physics to the dogs, then! I'll have none of it! Satan, give me my sword. The false veins fly from me. If thou can, purge the water of her land and cleanse it to a clean and pristine health. Knowest thou of any rhubarb, senna, or other purgative drug that would scour these English hens?
Aye, sir. Your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Well, then give it to me! I shall not be afraid of death in vain till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane.
Chambers will be safe. Without it, it's nothing.
What wood is this before us?
The wood of Burnham. Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear before him. Thereby will we shadow numbers of our host and make discovery ere and report of us.
It shall be done.
We learn no other but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane, and will endure our setting down before it.
'Tis the main hope, for where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him in the revolt, and none serve with him but constrained in things whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
Aye! The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe!
Hang out our banners on the outward walls! The cry is still, they come! This castle will laugh a siege to scorn. Let them lie till a famine and the ague eat them up!
It is the cry of women, my lord!
I have almost forgotten the taste of fears. The time has been that my senses would have cooled at a night shriek, or my hair would at a dismal treatise rouse and stir as if life were in it. I have supped full with horrors. Direness, familiar to my slaughterous thought, cannot one start me. Wherefore came that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. And to all our yesterdays, lights the fools, to the dusty death, out, breathe candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that frets and prates it out his hour upon the stage and is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue. Use it quickly.
Gracious my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but I know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand upon my watchtower, I looked toward Burnham Wood, and anon methought the wood began to move.
A groan began. Liar! Slave!
Let me endure your wrath if it be not so. I say, within this 3 mile, may you see it coming, a moving grove.
If thou art lying, upon the next tree shall your body hang, till famine cling thee. If what you say be sooth, I care not if you do the same. I begin to doubt the equivocation of the fool that says, fear not, Macbeth, till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane. And now, a wood do come to Dunsinane! Arm! Arm and out! I begin to doubt the sun and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell! Blow wind! Come rack! At least we'll die with harness on our back.
Down! Near enough. More leafy screens throw down, and show like those you are. You, worthy uncle, to with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Worthy Macduff and we shall take upon what else remains to do, according to our order.
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Aye!
I am tied to a stake, and so I cannot fly. But bear-like I must fight the course.
What man is not born of woman? Such a man am I to dare, or no one.
What is thy name?
Thou would be too afraid to hear it, slave.
No, the like, call thyself a hotter name than any in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No! Nor more fearful!
Thou liest, Lord Tyrant! With my sword I shall prove the lie thou speakest.
Thou wast born of woman.
Tyrant! Show thy face! If thou beest slain by no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts haunt me still. Let me find him, Fortune, and more I think not.
This way, my lord. The castle is gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war, and the day almost itself professes yours, and little is to do.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle. Why should I fall on mine own sword and play the Roman fool? Whilst I see lives, the gases do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound! Turn!
Oh, of all men else I have avoided thee. But get thee back! My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain than words can get thee out.
Thou losest labor! Let thy blade fall on vulnerable crests. I live a charmed life, and one that should not yield to one of woman born.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou hast served tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
No! I curse the voices that did say, fear not, Macbeth, till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane. Fear not, Macbeth, for no man of woman born shall ever have power over thee.
I will not fight thee! Then yield thee, coward! And live to be the show and gaze of the time, as our rarer monsters are, painted upon a pole and under it, here, we see the tyrant!
I will not fall to Malcolm! Though opposed be of woman born, and though he would to come to Dulcinea, I will fight thee still! Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that cries, Hold! Enough!
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold the usurper. The time is free. I see thee compass with thy kingdom's pearl, whose voices speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before you reckon with your several loves and make us even with you. What's more to do, which would planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hands took off her life. This, and what needful else remains to do, we will perform in measure, time, and place.